All right. So CM Punk has now come out and said he's retired. He didn't say. I don't think he quoted like, "Oh, I'm retired." I think he said it's nice to be retired. Um. So yeah, I mean, pretty I guess shocking like interview. I think this was his first interview since him leaving. Like official interview. I know he was on like The Talking Dead or something like that, but that wasn't really an interview. Um, so I guess he did this interview, and he said he's retired. And if you remember, or if you've watched his past interviews, he said, when I'm retired, I'm not gonna when I leave WWE, I'm not coming back again. I'm not gonna come back when I retire. I don't know exactly what he said, but he said something like, I want to retire in my like before 40. I don't want to be wrestling like Undertaker. And when I leave, I'm not going to come back and wrestle again. When I say I'm done, I'm done. And so he said he's done. So unless he wants to come back and, unless he changes his mind, um, it looks like he's done. I mean, I hear he's got enough money. It seems like he's got a ton of money. I mean, I remember looking at like net worths of WWE superstars, and he was like on the top 20 list, I believe. So he's got a good amount of money. If you look up, I think if you look up CM Punk's net worth, it's at least a couple $1 million. Um, so it looks like he's all set for his life, and a lot of people were saying, "Oh, CM Punk is set." A lot of WWE superstars were saying, "Oh, it's nice that CM Punk has enough money." So it appears CM Punk has enough money to, live his life, and even if he didn't, he could just go and make a ton of money somewhere else. Even if it wasn't WWE, he could easily make some money somewhere else. Um, and yeah, I mean, this is a disappointment though that he is retired. I'm very disappointed. And people were saying, "Oh, do you think he's gonna return at Payback? He might return at Payback." No, he's not gonna return. I even said that like a couple days ago. No, he's not gonna return at Payback. I give the chances of him returning at Payback like 2% maybe. Like it's a very low percentage. I mean, somebody asked me in my Payback predictions video. They commented, "Hey, do you think CM Punk's gonna return at Payback?" And I said, "Very minimal chances. Minimal chances of him returning at Payback. I don't see him returning to WWE anytime soon, and the chances he wrestles again, I think, are like maybe 25%, maybe 1 in 4 chance I would give it in WWE. Yeah, very low percentage I think of him coming back at Payback, but he might still wrestle again, but even those chances are very low. Will he come back again to WWE? Yeah, I think that those chances are very high that he'll come back, and whether it's like a permanent role or he just comes back for one night, I don't know. But he ought to be back sometime. And I guess he's also said, I heard this in one of these articles, I don't know, on one of these wrestling websites. He said once once he retired, he was gonna go into like seclusion and never talk to anybody again and like pretty much disappear. I didn't really see him say that, but if that's true, I mean he's obviously come back on that statement. So if he's come back on that statement, I mean maybe he'll come back on once he's saying he's retired, he'll come back again. Or he won't come back again. Maybe he'll come back on that statement too. So yeah, but this is bad for WWE. I mean, I still don't know why he left. I mean, he hasn't said anything about it, so I don't know. You know, it seems like it was like a couple of factors. It was clear though he wasn't getting treated good. He wasn't even close to the main event really. And he did deserve to be near the main event. He did deserve to be in one of the top feuds in the company. But he wasn't. He was a boring baby face who cut boring promos when ever from SummerSlam on. I remember it was like he was so boring. And was it his fault? I don't think so. But he was still wrestling boring matches. I think it was because he wasn't like that enthusiastic. You know, he was a little bit angry at the company, and um, maybe creative wasn't letting him cut good promos. But I mean, like he said, like in 2011, sometimes when creative gave me promos to cut, I didn't even listen to him. I just went off on my own and cut my own promo. So I mean, it does come back on him a little bit. It is his fault a little bit. But he was boring back in 2013 to early 2014. You know, ever since SummerSlam. Um, but yeah, it's a real shame though, and they say he was really beat up too. And I was talking. I'm gonna make a video about this in the future. I think about live events. Do live events really make that much money for the company? Like seriously, do they? 'Cause I don't think they. You know, you get 15,000 whatever people, 20,000 people in a stadium for a live event, and that could make a good amount of money. I guess I don't know how much. But then you gotta pay the superstars. You gotta pay all these other fees. And when it comes down to it, I'm sure you don't even make that much money if you're WWE. Why don't you just cut the live events out altogether? Maybe go on, a couple a month or something like that. Just a few, but drastically cut the number of live events because I think those are very stupid. I'm gonna make a video on that too. I think Kevin Nash was even saying how like him and CM Punk like fell asleep together on the floor and then they could like barely get up or something like that. So CM Punk was clearly beat up, and CM Punk says he's straight edge, so I'm sure is he straight edge? I think he is straight edge. I don't think he's done any steroids or anything like that because he's not a big guy, and he seems pretty adamant on the straight edge thing, and he seems pretty dedicated to it, and so he probably hasn't taken anything for his injuries or pain, like no pills or anything like that. So yeah, there's my little thoughts on the CM Punk retirement. It's a shame though. When it comes down to it, it's a shame we're probably not gonna see CM Punk wrestle again in WWE. It's one of my favorite. I will probably always be a CM Punk fan unless he does something really retarded or stupid. I will always be a CM Punk fan. I will always like the guy. He does get a little bitchy every once in a while, but still, he's a good performer. He has a lot of talent in the ring and on the mic. So I will always be a CM Punk fan. It's a shame we probably won't see him again. So there you go, people.